Iran has launched 2 ballistic missiles at the strategic Diego Garcia military base in the Indian Ocean, marking a dramatic escalation in regional tensions. The Foreign Secretary condemned what he called reckless Iranian threats after the missile strike targeted the joint US-UK facility. Both projectiles failed to reach their intended target, according to defense officials monitoring the situation. Diego Garcia serves as a critical staging point for Western military operations in the Middle East and Asia-Pacific regions. The attack represents Iran's most direct challenge to Western military infrastructure outside the immediate Middle East theater. Intelligence sources suggest the missile launch was coordinated with Iran's recent strikes on Israeli territory, indicating a broader strategic offensive. The base houses strategic bombers and serves as a logistics hub for operations across 2 ocean regions. This unprecedented targeting of Diego Garcia could trigger enhanced security measures at military installations worldwide and prompt stronger international sanctions against Tehran. Travelers across America are facing increasingly lengthy airport security lines as the ongoing government shutdown enters its critical phase, with no resolution in sight. Travel experts are urging passengers to arrive at airports at least 3 hours early for domestic flights, as Transportation Security Administration staffing shortages worsen daily. The disruptions are expected to intensify until congressional leaders and the White House reach a budget agreement to reopen federal agencies. Major hubs including Atlanta, Chicago O'Hare, and Los Angeles International are reporting security wait times exceeding 2 hours during peak travel periods. TSA agents, working without pay during the shutdown, are calling in sick at rates significantly higher than normal operations. Airlines are advising passengers to check flight status before departing for airports and consider rebooking non-essential travel. The economic impact extends beyond inconvenience, with tourism industry leaders warning of substantial revenue losses if the shutdown persists through the busy spring travel season. Israel's vaunted air defense system suffered a significant failure as at least 2 Iranian ballistic missiles successfully struck targets in southern Israel, marking Tehran's most effective direct attack on Israeli soil. The breakthrough represents a major escalation in the regional conflict that has been building for months across multiple fronts. Israeli defense officials confirmed that their multi-layered missile defense network, including the Iron Dome and Arrow systems, failed to intercept the incoming projectiles. The successful strikes demonstrate Iran's improving missile technology and ability to overwhelm Israeli defensive capabilities. Emergency services are responding to impact sites, though casualty figures have not been released pending security assessments. This direct Iranian assault on Israeli territory crosses previous red lines and significantly raises the stakes in an already volatile regional situation. Military analysts suggest the successful penetration of Israeli airspace could embolden Iran's regional proxies and alter the strategic balance of power. International diplomatic efforts are intensifying to prevent further escalation between the 2 adversaries. President Trump finds himself at a critical crossroads as escalating Iranian attacks expose the gap between his public declarations of imminent victory and the deteriorating security situation across multiple theaters. The president's recent statements claiming the conflict is almost over stand in stark contrast to Iran's successful missile strikes on both Israeli territory and the Diego Garcia military base. Administration officials are privately acknowledging that Trump faces increasingly limited options as traditional diplomatic channels remain closed and military advisors present scenarios with significant risks. The missile attacks have forced the White House to consider responses ranging from enhanced sanctions to potential military retaliation, each carrying substantial political and strategic consequences. Congressional leaders from both parties are demanding briefings on the administration's Iran strategy as regional allies express concerns about American resolve. Intelligence assessments suggest Iran's coordinated strikes represent a calculated test of Trump's willingness to escalate militarily. The president's next moves could define his administration's Middle East legacy and America's regional credibility for years to come. Robert Mueller, the former FBI director who led the high-profile investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election, has died at age 81, marking the end of a distinguished career in American law enforcement. Mueller's exhaustive probe into potential Trump campaign ties to Russian operatives dominated headlines for nearly 2 years and resulted in multiple indictments of campaign associates. The decorated Marine veteran served as FBI director from 2001 to 2013, guiding the Bureau through the post-September 11th transformation of American counterterrorism efforts. His investigation as special counsel produced a detailed report examining Russian election interference activities and potential obstruction of justice, though it stopped short of recommending criminal charges against President Trump. Mueller's methodical approach and reputation for integrity made him a respected figure across party lines despite the politically charged nature of his final assignment. Legal scholars credit his work with exposing the extent of foreign influence operations in American elections. His death removes one of the most consequential figures in recent American political and legal history during a time of continued national division.